Hello, hello. Thank you for checking out this YouTube video. What we're going to be doing here, hopefully once a week, is breaking down and ranking, as hopefully you can see this up here, ranking the songs of Coldplay. I'm sorry, I am blocking Chris Martin's and Johnny. No, there's Johnny. Who else? Will Champion's Beautiful Faces. I'll get out of the way when we get to the actual song ranking. This is just an introductory video, walking you through my process, what has gotten us here. So, my name is David Cole. If anyone does not know me and you're checking this video out, thank you for coming by. Appreciate the time. So, big Coldplay fan here. Always kind of was a fan of a few of their songs, and then started to get more into them right before Viva La Vida came out. I'm 35 right now, so I was like, I think a senior or a junior in high school. I think I was a senior in high school. And then that came out the summer I graduated, I believe, if I remember the time of the year that it came out, because it was '08. I graduated in May of '08. So the album comes out, fall in love with it, kind of go back and really fall in love with the previous three albums as well. See them live on that tour, the Viva La Vida tour. And I don't know if you can see the posters behind me there, but I fall in love with them and have been a huge fan ever since. And I've actually gone through and ranked all their songs previously. Last time I did it was somewhere around 2018. It was before Everyday Life came out, which was, I believe, late 2019. So, somewhere around there is when I before Everyday Life came out was the last time I've ranked all these songs. So I started doing it again with one of my friends, and I was having such a good time kind of going through and ranking the songs. I just thought, you know what, I should put it on YouTube, if only for the sake that I can come back and check out like my thoughts some years later. So that's what I'm gonna do here. So if only gets 10 watches, 10 people view this, that's fine. I know I have a few friends that would be interested that are also Coldplay fans. So my goal is to spend about 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, breaking down my feelings on a chunk of 10 songs. So we will obviously end with 1 through 10, and then the video before that will be 11 through 20, and then 21 to 30, and we'll go all the way. We're going to go to 107. So the what got me there, a couple of caveats in terms of the rankings. We are only ranking, first of all, like full album releases, not like the EPs and other things like that. I love a lot of the EPs. Maybe we could do a follow-up video of my favorite EPs at some point in time if that becomes something that people are asking for or interested in. But that seems unlikely, but whatever. I'm down for it. I love Coldplay, so. Um, but we're not going to do the EPs or the like Prospects March was like an EP album that had like basically a full album of songs more or less. We're just going to stick to the 10 studio releases. And also on top of that, Coldplay's been known to have what I call transition songs. I don't know what else to call them really, where they're like some of them are like 30 seconds, some of them are several minutes. So the way that I decided to go with those and where I decided to land is if it had lyrics, like clear, distinguishable lyrics. So an example would be Parachutes from the album Parachutes. It's only about 45 seconds, but it has lyrics, and so I'm ranking it. Um, then it has lyrics that I'm for sure ranking it. If it is also over a minute, I'm ranking it. Some of these early transitional songs, especially from like Milo Zoloto, were only, like I said, 30 to 45 seconds and didn't have lyrics really. It's just kind of like a way to transition out of one song and into the next song. And so I didn't feel like it was fair to rank those. It would probably be pretty boring for anyone watching this when I'm just ranking them low, not because they're bad, just because they aren't even really songs. I don't know what to do with that. So I just decided not to rank any of those that have no lyrics and or are a minute and under. There's one in particular, I believe from Milo Zoloto. I could be wrong on that. Might be from Head Full of Dreams. That's actually at 1 minute, and so that's why I chose the 1 minute or less mark, because that one didn't really feel like a full song to me. I can't even remember which one, like what it was titled, because when I was going through and listening to all the albums in preparation for this, it stood out as like this doesn't feel like a song, and it's at like exactly 1 minute, so it's a good benchmark basically to clarify. So like certain songs like One World from the new album Moon Music, it's like three, I think that one might even be more than that, but it's several minutes long. That one's gonna obviously should count. It's several minutes long. It's longer than many other actual Cold, like quote unquote actual Coldplay songs. So that is like the criteria and how we got to 107 songs. In terms of my process, when I did it last, I went through each album and ranked the songs from my favorite to my least favorite within the album. And then I just took the bottom song from each album and just kind of ranked them against each other. And as I would place them from the bottom to the top, I would kind of get a feel for where I'm at. So I did that again. I also, when I first went through, because sometimes, you hear it once and you're like, yeah, I think this is lower than this one. And then you hear them a couple times more and you're like, actually, I'm not so sure. These two are really close. So I went ahead and gave them a score out of 5 on my first pass through, just so that if there's a couple of them that I was like, yeah, these are roughly on the same level. I think I like this song more than that song, but I think they're roughly equivalent. I put them, maybe they're both 4s, or maybe they're both 3.5s, or whatever. So that way I could just like put them when I go back through into this full ranking, I will have them I'll put them both. So I made a Spotify playlist and we just take all of the bottom songs from every album. And if there's a couple that are close, like these are both like the bottom two and they're kind of close, I'll put them on the playlist and just listen to them all and get a feel for how I want to rank the lowest one. And then once I put the lowest one, I take it off the playlist and put put a new one from that album. So like just let's say for example, this is absolutely false. Just okay. Let's just say like I hated Yellow for some reason, and it was my least favorite song by Coldplay. I put it on at 107, and then I pick up a new song from Parachutes to replace that song. So I'm always kind of like feeling it out and feeling it out. It's pretty, I found it to be for me pretty effective, pretty efficient, but that's the process of how we got here. I also went to the very, very end of all of this, take a minute and use my rankings of the songs to then give the albums a score and rank the albums to see. I have a general thought in my head of how I feel about the albums and different tiers and different levels of loving them or liking them a little bit less and that kind of thing. Um, so I want to see if like my ranking of songs um, kind of like goes along with that, and or if there's like a weird like difference of opinion there. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. So look forward to, I will probably post twice this week because this isn't an actual video of me talking about the songs. So maybe in a few days I will post 107 to 101 so that we can get the first few songs out there and get going on that. I also try to talk about positives and negatives of every song. Obviously, if we get further down the line where we get getting closer to like 15, 14, 13, it's going to be hard for me to be like, well, I really don't like this part of this song. Like, I'm a huge fan of Coldplay. Um, so I'm gonna have a lot of positives to say about the higher songs and not as many negatives. So what I will probably say instead of maybe having negatives, I will probably have like just reasons why I didn't have it as high as something else. Like why was it placed at 15 versus 8 or 9, right? Just kind of breaking it down. And when I say break it down, I don't mean I'm going to talk for like 7 or 8 minutes per song. That would be kind of ridiculous. I'm hoping to shoot for like around a minute to 2 minutes. Certain songs may go 3 or 4 minutes, I guess. That's definitely feasible if you have talked to me before or if you've listened to anything else I've put on YouTube or podcast form. I'm gonna ramble, but some of these songs will be just pretty simple. Like, I don't like this certain thing. I like this certain thing. Here's where I have it ranked. Let's move on. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the songs were 30 seconds of discussion. So I'm hoping for, 10 to 20-minute videos breaking down the songs. So that's all I have for you today. Look forward to a few days, I would say. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Um, Comment down below what's your favorite Coldplay album or favorite Coldplay song. Um, have you seen them live? I've seen them live 3 times. I want to see them live again. I wasn't able to get tickets, and the scalps tickets are like $500. So finals tickets were less than that. Um, Tough, tough, but great show live. If you haven't seen them live, go see them live, and then come back and watch this series.